Alright, number 2, we are going to simplify these expressions. Let's work on part A first. 24 over square root of 6. The key to this is that we need to make sure we don't have square roots, we don't have irrational numbers on the denominator. And we do have a square root of 6 in the denominator here, but we can take care of this by multiply the bottom and the top by square root of 6. So I will do that right here. Multiply the top and bottom by square root of 6. This way, we are going to get, on the top, let me just copy down 24 square root of 6. Okay, that's going to be on the top. Over, on the denominator, we can just work out 6 times 6 inside of the square root, which is 36. And when you take square root of 36, you get a regular 6. And the beauty is that whenever you have two square roots multiplying with each other, if the insides are the same, then you are going to end up with the same thing inside. So just 6 and no more square roots, alright? Now, remember that we can divide or multiply the numbers that's both outside of the square root or both inside of the square root. Here we have 24 and 6. They are both outside of the square root, so I can reduce them. 6 goes into 6 one time, 6 goes into 24 4 times. And that will pretty much be our answer. I will get 4 square root of 6 over 1, which doesn't really matter, so just 4 square root of 6. That will be it. Now for part B, we are going to combine these three square roots together. However, square root of 27 and square root of 75 must be simplified first. This is how I will recommend you guys to do it. Let's write down some of the perfect squares on the side. Start with square root of 1 is equal to 1. Even though you never use 1 to simplify square roots, but this is a good start. Anyways, the next perfect square is equal to square root of 4, and that we will get a regular number 2. And we will get square root of 9, it's equal to 3. The next one is square root of 16, that will be 4. And square root of 25, it will be 5. And the next one is going to be 6, right, as you can see from my chart. And to do that, if you don't remember the perfect squares, just write down these numbers first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, so on, so on, right? And 6 times 6, it's equal to 36. So you know that square root of 36 will be 6. With that, that will help us to simplify these square roots. For the first part, this pretty much we cannot do anything with it because 3 square root of 3, it's in the simplest form already. Right? The square root of 3, I cannot break it down anymore. But for the second part, let me just write down minus 5. For the square root of 27, we have to think about which perfect square here is able to go into 27. And the answer to that is 9. 9 goes into 27 3 times. So I can break down square root of 27 as square root of 9. Let me write this down right here. And let's write down the perfect square first. Square root of 9 times square root of 3. Square root of 9 times square root of 3 will be square root of 27. Okay, and let me just leave this part right now like this. I will move to the next part. Let me write down plus. I have the 8 right here. And look for square root of 75. We have to think about which perfect square is able to go into 75. The answer to that is 25. 25 goes into 75 3 times. So I can break down square root of 75 as square root of 25. And the second part is going to be 3 inside of the square root. So multiply by 3 like that. The next step is, well, once again, the 3 square root of 3, I cannot do anything with it. But for the second part, notice this right here. This is 5, regular number 5. Square root of 9 becomes regular number 3. And keep in mind, we are multiplying for this part. So 5 times 3 will give us 15. So that will be minus 15, right? 15. And bring down the square root of 3. And plus, for the next part, we have 8 times square root of 25. 8 is the regular 8. Square root of 25 becomes regular 5. So 5 times 8, the regular numbers, we will get 40. And let's also maintain the square root of 3. So notice that all these Three terms, they all have square root of 3, so they are like square roots. So we can combine them. That means we can just add or subtract the number in front of the square root of 3. So 3 minus 15, which is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 40, that's 28, positive 28. And you maintain the square root of 3. The square root of 3 will stay the same. And that will take care of business for this one. 28 square root of 3.